Event 43, girls, 11-12, 200 meter IM, heat 1. Okay, starting us off this morning in heat 1. In lane 2, we have Evie Long. Lane 3, Lexi Bertone. Lane 4, Isabella Arellano. Lane 5, Lindy Jarrell. Lane 6, Anastasia Benzosuik. Lane 7, Heidi Fram. Lane 8, Maya Powell. And lane 9, Gracie Brown. So in the water is the first of 3 heats. Up next, getting ready for heat 2. Lining up in lane 2, Adi Muller. Lane 3, Amrin Reynolds. Lane 4, Milana Nazarenko. Lane 5, Claudio Alfahora. Lane 6, Cassie Fuller. Lane 7, Adele Mathia. And lane 8, Samantha Gardner. Swimmers, you can relax. Heat 2. So this is heat 2 of 3. Next up will be heat 3, and lining up in lane 2, Evelyn Harris. Lane 3, Anna Shusard. And lane 4, Emery Smith. Lane 5, Chaya Hughes-Turner. Lane 6, Mackenzie James. Lane 7, Ada Liu. Lane 8, Zoe Kamat. Heat 3. Up next, we're going to have the boys, 11 and 12-year-olds, in their 200-meter IM. It's event 44. And getting ready behind the blocks for heat 1. In lane 2, Liam Gianella. Lane 3, Landon Beauregard. Lane 4, Christian Beauchamp. Lane 5, Augustine Cuneo. Lane 6, Charles Wolfe. Lane 7, Ivan Loganov. Lane 8, Colin Hanna. Event 44, the boys, 11-12, 200-meter IM, heat 1. In the water is heat 1 of 3 for the boys. Lining up ready for heat 2. In lane 2, Colton Waff. Lane 3, Joseph Martino. Lane 4, Wesley Hamer. Lane 5, Ryan Lynn. Lane 6, Caleb Milak. Lane 7, Tahar Awad. Lane 8, Adrian Barangulov. May I bring your attention to the scoreboard on the right-hand side. It is now showing event 43, the girls 11-12 200 IM results. Swimmers, you have 30 minutes to declare your intention to scratch. And for those parents whose swimmers are going to be at finals this evening, please consider volunteering for timing. We are needing 7 more timers for this evening, and you can go down to the reception to be able to put your name down for that. Heat 2. Next up, we have the third and final heat for the boys. In lane 2, Max Ruiz. Lane 3, Carter Zimmerman. Lane 4, Gabriel Feldman. Lane 5, Brennan McCown. Lane 6, Virgil von der Heide. Lane 7, Victor Chizu. And lane 8, Christian Hoyne. Heat 3. Up next, we have the 13, 14-year-olds, starting with the girls in event 45. Lining up behind the blocks for heat 1. In lane 1, Ember McAteer. Lane 2, June Fram. Lane 3, Isabella Claro. Lane 4, Angelina Paradron. Lane 5, Sarah Fiamma. Lane 6, Ainsley Palmer. Lane 7, Gabriela Beauchamp. Lane 8, Isa Fisher-Munoz. Lane 9, Olivia Breeden. And lane 10, Callahan Edwards. Event 45, the girls 13, 14, 200 meter IM, heat 1. If you look at the scoreboard on the right, you'll see that the results are now up for event 44, the boys 11-12, 200 meter IM. Swimmers, you have 30 minutes to declare your intention to scratch. And those parents of the swimmers who have qualified for finals, again, please consider volunteering for timing. Get a lovely yellow t-shirt and get fed and watered. So in the water is the first of 4 heats for the girls. Lining up for heat 2. In lane 1, Anya Berry. Lane 2, Franny Sandora. Lane 3, Chantel Yildiz. Lane 4, Skylar Batten. Lane 5, Ryan Utagawa. Lane 6, Lane Langenbrunner. Lane 7, Amelia Baklowski. Lane 8, Camden Smith. Lane 9, Avery Young. And lane 10, Anderson O'Kelly. Heat 2. Next up, we have Heat 3. Lining up in Lane 1, Ali Harb. Lane 2, Emily G. Lane 3, Shelby Malandruco. Lane 4, Helen Dye. Lane 5, Moira Keenan. Lane 6, Leah Hamer. Lane 7, Hannah McGork. Lane 8, Avalia Van Hall. Lane 9, Zora Gansner. Lane 10, Riley Rosas. Heat 3. Next up we have heat 4, the final heat for the girls. Lining up in lane 1, Willow Jershim. Lane 2, Klein Vaughan. Lane 3, Shanna Shaw. Lane 4, Sophie Barotto. Lane 5, Ariana Boyet Martinez. Lane 6, Amanda Delgado. Lane 7, Toka Awad. Lane 8, Harper Klein. And lane 9, Naomi McKenna. Heat 4. Coming up next, we move on to the boys, 13, 14-year-old 200-meter IM. This is event 46. And getting ready behind the blocks in heat 1. In lane 1, Colton Papas. Lane 2, Tyler Dans. Lane 3, Tim Yildiz. Lane 4, Anton Barangalov. Lane 5, Tony Tang. Lane 6, Avilio Claro. Lane 7, Zach Katir. Lane 8, Zach Aschenbrenner. Lane 9, Kaysen Sweet, and lane 10, Matty Davis. Event 46, boys, 13-14, 200 meter IM, heat 1. So up on the board, you'll be able to now see the results for event 45, the girls 13-14, 200 meter IM. Swimmers, you have 30 minutes to declare your intention to scratch. Next up, we have heat 2. Lining up in lane 1, Benjamin Kirk. Lane 2, Wesley Han. Lane 3, Christopher Keown. Lane 4, Tyler Hanna. Lane 5, Toby Chen. Lane 6, Preston Hatcher. Lane 7, Broderick Cuneo. Lane 8, Toivo Heppel. Lane 9, David Madeira. Heat 2. Next in the water will be heat 3. We're getting ready for heat 3 behind the blocks in lane 1, Luke Wheeler. Lane 2, Oliver Kosmowski. Lane 3, Jacob Lee. Lane 4, Wyatt Somesi. Lane 5, Andrew McCann. Lane 6, Lucas Gianella. Lane 7, Cameron Stanley. Lane 8, Philip Tannis. Lane 9, Brighton Toller. Heat 3. In the water is the heat 3 of 4. Up next, getting ready for heat 4, in lane 4, Michael McSorley. Lane 5, Cal Berklew. Lane 6, Ronan Rowe. And lane 7, Alex Spinelli. Heat 4. Up next, we're moving on to the girls 200 meter IM, event 47. Lining up for heat 1 of 5 in lane 1, Lily Goff. Lane 2, Denise Paul. Lane 3, Addison Quant. Lane 4, Ella Chen. Lane 5, Eva Whitehead. Lane 6, Fiamma Chioffi. Lane 7, Peyton Burton. Lane 8, Alejandra Ordonez. Lane 9, Catherine Wolf. And lane 10, Caitlin Cheney. Event 47, girls 200 meter IM, heat 1. Up next we have heat 2, and lining up behind lane 1, Maisie Mobley. Lane 2, Kate Roger. Lane 3, Olivia Perez. Lane 4, Lily Ruth Scott. Lane 5, Evie Milak. Lane 6, Erica Opdyke. Lane 7, Lara Braganza. Lane 8, Cassidy Shanks. Lane 9, Isla Harris. And lane 10, Emma Pewitt. Heat 2. The results for event 46, boys 13-14 200 meter IM, are now posted on the scoreboard. Swimmers, you have 30 minutes to declare your intention to scratch. And parents, again, if your child has made finals and you fancy getting a bit of food and hospitality and a groovy yellow t-shirt, please go down to reception to put your name down to time for this evening. As of this morning, we needed 7 more timers. Up next, we have Heat 3. In Lane 1, Olivia Lewis. Lane 2, Mackenzie Cabello. Lane 3, Peyton Brooks. Lane 4, Morgan Gibson. Lane 5, Reagan Burton. Lane 6, Zoe Weiss. Lane 7, Grace Panner. Lane 8, Abigail Harm. Lane 9, Emma Casey. And Lane 10, Hannah Pagels. Heat 3. Next up is Heat 4. Lining up behind Lane 1, Madeline Berry. Lane 2, Sonia Inetsenka. Lane 3, Sheer Decker. Lane 4, Kathleen Rice. Lane 5, Marina Marchman. Lane 6, Lila Schuchard. Lane 7, Eden Ambrose. Lane 8, Johanna Beauchamp. Lane 9, Hunter Motherway. And Lane 10, Evelina Larson. Heat 4. With Heat 4 in the water, and Heat 5 is up next. Lining up in lane 2, JL Pierre. Lane 3, Riley Klaus. Lane 4, Molly Foy. Lane 5, Emma Dodge. Lane 6, Danny Ramos. Lane 7, Maya Ramdial. And lane 8, Cassie Agas. Heat 5. The last heat of the girls in the water. Up next will be event 48, the boys 200 metre IM. Getting ready behind the blocks for heat 1. In lane 1, Brendan Natlow. Lane 2, Chase Gluck. Lane 3, Noah Jones. Lane 4, Augustus Friedel. Lane 5, Wooby Kupski. Lane 6, Hayden Schwartz. Lane 7, Peyton Balciero. Lane 8, Sydney Radicic Mehalso. Lane 9, AJ Mugno. And lane 10, Noah Khan. Event 48, the boys 200 metre IM, heat 1. Please note on the scoreboard we now have the results for event 47, the girls 200 metre IM. Swimmers, you have 30 minutes to declare your intention to scratch. Up next we have heat 2. Lining up behind blocks. In lane 1, George Lee. Lane 2, Kelly Franks. Lane 3, Isaac Crick. Lane 4, Daniel Benzno-Suik. Lane 5, Nikita Ambatas. Lane 6, Padraig Donnelly. Lane 7, Aaron Kuteriba. Lane 8, Trey Davis. Lane 9, Zealand Plotch. Lane 10, Riley Pewitt. Heat 2. Next in the water will be Heat 3. In lane 1, Xander Maldin. Lane 2, Jacob Payne. Lane 3, Declan Foy. Lane 4, Aidan Levine. Lane 5, Ian Disasway. Lane 6, Noah So. Lane 7, Alexander Hahn. Lane 8, Chris Lessard. Lane 9, Carter Corbett. And lane 10, Jovan Joseph. Heat 3. Up next we have Heat 4. Lining up in lane 1, Grant Wilton. Lane 2, Ethan Siggin. Lane 3, Henry Turner. Lane 4, Santiago Lara. Lane 5, Landon Bursa. Lane 6, Josiah Ward. Lane 7, Joshua Koenigsberg. Lane 8, Matthew Dorney. Lane 9, Yusuf Alutebi Bop. And lane 10, William McGaw. Heat 4. Next heat in the water will be heat 5 of 7. In lane 1 we have Antonio Lewis. Lane 2, John McGourt. Lane 3, John Schuchard. Lane 4, Lucas Hanna. Lane 5, William Sevilla. Lane 6, Leith Canales. Lane 7, Christian Lituski. Lane 8, Liam Flanagan. Lane 9, Dash Gansner. And lane 10, Liam Talavera. Heat 5. Next up is Heat 6. Lining up in lane 1, Nathan Balch. Lane 2, Evan Hightower. Lane 3, Danny Melnicki. Lane 4, Jersey Kirk. Lane 5, Blake Beer. Lane 6, Timothy Matthews. Lane 7, Obi Dexheimer. Lane 8, Parker Cooksey. Lane 9, Wes Witchert. And lane 10, Gabe Vollmer. Heat 6. Next up is going to be the 7th and final heat for the boys 200 meter IM. In lane 4, Artur Avakian. Lane 5, Lucas Bloemen. Lane 6, Nevin Naramore. And lane 7, Jake Barner. Heat 7. This is the final heat of the 2IM. Up next, we're moving to the diving board end for the start of the 50-meter freestyles. The first event is event 49, the girls 11 and 12. And for heat 1, lining up in lane 1, Heidi Fram. Lane 2, Lexi Batone. Lane 3, Sophia Kreis. Lane 4, Emery Smith. Lane 5, Chaya Hughes-Turner. Lane 6, Maya Friouf. Lane 7, Camilla Poriadina. Lane 8, Grace McDonald. Lane 9, Annalie Trujillo. Lane 10, Maya Powell. Event 49, the girls 11 and 12, 50-meter freestyle, heat 1. Next heat, in lane 1 will be Anna Schuchard. Lane 2, Anastasia Benzenu. Lane 3, Madison Theodoso. Lane 4, Hannah Barnes. Lane 5, Claudia Alfahora. Lane 6, Isabella Arellano. Lane 7, Alora Tripp. Lane 8, Addie Muller. Lane 9, Samantha Gardner. And lane 10, Amrin Reynolds. Heat 2. Please note the results for event 48, the boys 200-meter IM, are now shown on the scoreboard. Swimmers have 30 minutes to declare their intention to scratch. Heat 3. Next up for Heat 4, lining up in lane 1, Kendall Beauregard. Lane 2, Maria Gracia Giacomi. Lane 3, Ada Liu. Lane 4, Olivia Fogel. Lane 5, Anna Di Fabrici. Lane 6, Ella Ray Nelson. Lane 7, Zoe Kamat. Lane 8, Gracie Brown. Lane 9, Evie Long. And lane 10, Juno Was. Heat 4. Next is the final heat, heat 5 for the girls. Lining up in lane 2, Jenny Simmons. Lane 3, Rebecca Lopez. Lane 4, Millie Douglas. Lane 5, Brooklyn Prince. Lane 6, Tati Savalos. Lane 7, Amelia Hayes. And lane 8, Anya Malakova. Heat 5. Next in the water will be the boys, 11 and 12 50-meter freestyle. In lane 1, Max Ruiz. Lane 2, Matias Rodriguez. Lane 3, Liam Gianella. Lane 4, Connor Cummings. Lane 5, Wesley Hamer. Lane 6, Augustine Cuneo. Lane 7, Christian Beauchamp. Lane 8, Liam Gamsky-Hust. Lane 9, Joseph Martino. And lane 10, Ethan Smith. Event 50, the boys, 11-12 50-meter freestyle, heat 1. Up next in heat 2, in lane 1, Oliver Doty. Lane 2, Youssef Nagy. Lane 3, Gabriel Feldman. Lane 4, Christian Hoyne. Lane 5, Charles Wolf. Lane 6, Taha Awad. Lane 7, Carter Hoyne. Lane 8, Baptiste Albert. Lane 9, Enzo Rodriguez. And lane 10, Oliver Naramore. Heat 2. Up next in heat 3, in lane 1, Robert Ross. Lane 2, Jet Iwanau. Lane 3, Colton Walsh. Lane 4, Victor Chizu. Lane 5, Brennan McCown. Lane 6, Landon Beauregard. Lane 7, Carter Zimmerman. Lane 8, Sebastian Nock. Lane 9, Adrian Boranglov. Lane 10, Giovanni Mendez. Please note the results for event 49, the girls 11 and 12 50-meter freestyle, are on the board. Swimmers have 30 minutes to declare their intention to scratch. Heat 3. Next up is the last heat for the boys. In lane 4, Brogan Norton. Lane 5, Samuel Doty. Lane 6, Max Penn. Heat 4. Up next will be the girls 13, 14-year-olds. Lining up in heat 1. Lane 1, Ava Whitley. Lane 2, Moira Keenan. Lane 3, Karina McSoley. Lane 4, Angelina Parajon. Lane 5, Fiona Blaho. Lane 6, Ainsley Palmer. Lane 7, Avery Young. Lane 8, Anya Berry. Lane 9, Karma Sood. And lane 10, Anderson O'Kelly. Event 51, the girls 13, 14, 50-meter freestyle, heat 1. Lining up for heat 2, lane 1, Camden Smith. Lane 2, Helen Dye. Lane 3, Ella Russell. Lane 4, Sophia Chibina. Lane 5, Sarah Fiamma. Lane 6, Sienna Udzinski. Lane 7, Shelby Smith. Lane 8, Lauren Mizeski. Lane 9, Franny Sandora. And lane 10, Amanda Collison. Please note, event 50 results are on the board. Swimmers have 30 minutes to declare their intention to scratch. Heat 2. Lining up for heat 3, lane 1, Olivia Brooks. Lane 2, Riley Rosas. Lane 3, Isam Fisher Munoz. Lane 4, Avelia Van Hall. Lane 5, Shelby Malandruko. Lane 6, Amelia Baklowski. Lane 7, Anika Traktueva. Lane 8, Juliana Alvarez. Lane 9, Ember McAteer. And lane 10, Callahan Edwards. Heat 3. Lining up for heat 4. Lane 1, Karina Hurtado Rios. Lane 2, Ali Harb. Lane 3, Zora Gansner. Lane 4, Lyric Ogugua. Lane 5, Faith Wendell. Lane 6, June Fram. Lane 7, Lera Valitova. Lane 8, Chantal Yildiz. Lane 9, Ariana Boyet Martinez. And lane 10, 7, Radicic Melhasso. Heat 4. Next up in heat 5, in lane 1, Valari Biscoot. Lane 2, Sophia Collett. Lane 3, Lana Ramdoval. Lane 4, Amanda Delgado. Lane 5, Eve Theodosu. Lane 6, Harper Klein. Lane 7, Naomi McKenna. Lane 8, Kai Surrett. Lane 9, Willow Jerkin. Lane 10, Tokwa Awad. Heat 5. Next up is heat 6. In lane 1, Miranda Go. Lane 2, Juliana Ruiz. Lane 3, Kanisha Patel. Lane 4, Bree Fogel. Lane 5, Shanna Shaw. Lane 6, Rain Herlihi. Lane 7, Reagan Hears. Lane 8, Klein Vaughan. Lane 9, Emily Z. and lane 10, Sabrina Carrion Rios. Heat 6. Next up is the boys 13, 14-year-olds. In event 52, heat 1 in lane 1, Benjamin Kirk. In lane 2, Benjamin Keong. Lane 3, Julian Sosa. Lane 4, Blake Beer. Lane 5, Jeremy Morgan. Lane 6, Philip Tannis. Lane 7, Harold Shin Yu. Lane 8, Christopher Keown. Lane 9, Wyatt Samesi. And lane 10, Trent Barisano. Event 52, boys 13, 14, 50-meter freestyle, heat 1. Up next in heat 2, in lane 1, Toivo Heppel. Lane 2, Matthew Van Matre. Lane 3, Cameron Stanley. Lane 4, Arthur Avakian. Lane 5, Tony Tang. Lane 6, Christian Latuski. Lane 7, Josh Silvera. Lane 8, Michael McSorley. Lane 9, Cal Berklew. And lane 10, Zach Aschenbrenner. Heat 2. Next up is heat 3. In lane 1, Evan Hightower. Lane 2, Ryan McCann. Lane 3, Trent Ward. Lane 4, Kaysen Sweet. Lane 5, Anton Barangalov. Lane 6, Rushin Wee. Lane 7, Broderick Cuneo. Lane 8, Tim Yildiz. Lane 9, Jackson Height. Lane 10, Tyler Hanna. Please note the results for event 51, the girls 13-14, is on the board. Swimmers have 30 minutes to announce their intention to scratch. Heat 3. Next up in heat 4, in lane 1, Matty Davis. Lane 2, Joel Robinson. Lane 3, David Madeira. Lane 4, Colton Pappas. Lane 5, Luke Wheeler. Lane 6, Riley Liu. Lane 7, Oliver Kosmowski. Lane 8, Keola Kawai. Lane 9, Tyler Dans. And lane 10, Nathan Moore. Heat 4. Next up in heat 5, In lane 2, Eli Fowler. Lane 3, Zach Atir. Lane 4, Sebastian Corray. Lane 5, Wesley Han. Lane 6, Caden Reynolds. Lane 7, Brighton Toller. Lane 8, Averick Olingen. Lane 9, Charlie Piquet. And lane 10, Alex Spinelli. Heat 5. Next up is the last heat for the boys. In lane 4, Bobby D'Souza. Lane 5, Connor Benton. Lane 6, Ryan Atir. Heat 6. This is the last heat for the boys. Up next will be the girls 50-meter freestyle, event 53. Lining up in heat 1. In lane 1, Elisa Beth. Lane 2, Reagan Burton. Lane 3, Hayley McArdle. Lane 4, Annabelle Braun. Lane 5, Hannah Parkin. Lane 6, Peyton Brooks. Lane 7, Lily Ruth Scott. Lane 8, Ivy Vistrovich. Lane 9, Annika Davis. And lane 10, Elise Brazil. Event 53, girls 50-meter freestyle, heat 1. Up next in heat 2, in lane 1, Lily Shouchard. Lane 2, Leah Opdyke. Lane 3, Lara Braganza. Lane 4, Catherine Bazade. Lane 5, Lola Frey. Lane 6, Denise Paul. Lane 7, Zoe Weiss. Lane 8, Maya Kalevic. Lane 9, Heidi Chen. And lane 10, Alejandra Perez. Please note the results for event 52 are on the scoreboard. Swimmers have 30 minutes to announce their intention to scratch. Heat 2. Lining up for heat 3, in lane 1, Elise Fortief. Lane 2, Milena Fix. Lane 3, Reese Denman. Lane 4, Cassidy Shanks. Lane 5, Layla Busby. Lane 6, Kate Masters. Lane 7, Ella Chen. Lane 8, Lawrence Simon. Lane 9, Marina Marchman. And lane 10, Lily Dorney. Heat 3. Up next is heat 4. In lane 1, Caitlin Cheney. Lane 2, Tess Miota. Lane 3, Sonia Inesenka. Lane 4, Chloe Wood. Lane 5, Ansley Edelman. Lane 6, Kim Poma. Lane 7, Emma Dodge. Lane 8, Addison Quant. Lane 9, Ashley Palmer. And lane 10, Hayley Huffstetler. Heat 4. Up next is heat 5. In lane 1, Hunter Motherway. Lane 2, Zariah Van Hall. Lane 3, Isla Harris. Lane 4, Madeline Berry. Lane 5, Anna Jane Lucius. Lane 6, Maddie DeBoy. Lane 7, Emma Fielding. Lane 8, Mackenzie Cabello. Lane 9, Bridget Ballinger. And Lane 10, Jenna Becker. Heat 5. Next up in Heat 6, in Lane 1, Molly Foy. Lane 2, Kathleen Rice. Lane 3, Amelia DeBova. Lane 4, Alba Iocopazzi. Lane 5, Gabriela Paredes. Lane 6, Katie Scheritz. Lane 7, Caitlin Canfield. Lane 8, Eden Ambrose. Lane 9, Lucy McKenzie. And Lane 10, Maya Ramdial. Heat 6. Next up in Heat 7, in Lane 1, Bella McDowell. Lane 2, Vivi Ralston. Lane 3, Shelby Adkins. Lane 4, Olivia Theodoso. Lane 5, Riley Klaus. Lane 6, Cassie Agas. Lane 7, Camilla Poriadina. Lane 8, Evelina Larson. Lane 9, Ivana Diaz. And Lane 10, Lexi Batone. Heat 7. Up next is Heat 8, the last heat for the girls. In Lane 4, Jael Pierre. Lane 5, Jackie Fogel. Lane 6, Anna Robinson. Heat 8. Up next is the boys 50-meter free. Lining up in Heat 1, in Lane 1, Colby Hamel. Lane 2, Ryan Glattergox. Lane 3, Avi Stahl. Lane 4, Julian Ithia. Lane 5, Trey Davis. Lane 6, Nikita Ambatas. Lane 7, Ethan Kim. Lane 8, Yuchun Wee. Lane 9, Luca Fiamma. And Lane 10, Zachary Foster. Event 54, boys 50-meter freestyle, Heat 1. Up next is Heat 2. In Lane 1, Gleb Basov. Lane 2, Ruby Kupski. Lane 3, Patrick Donnelly. Lane 4, Ethan Hoyne. Lane 5, Sabian Branch. Lane 6, Alden Davis. Lane 7, Justine Scuderi. Lane 7, Jackson Smuddle. Lane 8, 9, Joshua Koenigsberg. Lane 10, Youssef Al-Jaiba Pop. Heat 2. Lining up for heat 3 in lane 1, Jaden Garcia. Lane 2, Seth Hyde. Lane 3, Aidan Martin. Lane 4, Parker Stever. Lane 5, Edris Johnson. Lane 6, Aaron Katariba. Lane 7, Peter Theodoso. Lane 8, John Shushard. Lane 9, Danielle Beznosuik. Lane 10, Antonio Lewis. Please note the results for event 53, the girls 53, are on the board. Swimmers have 30 minutes to announce their intention to scratch. Heat 3. Next up in Heat 4, Lane 1, Sydney Raditic Mel Hasso. Lane 2, AJ Bullock. Lane 3, Dash Gassender. Lane 4, Henry Turner. Lane 5, Aaron Nakax. Lane 6, Adam Fishberg. Lane 7, Chelsea Acevedo. Lane 8, Ethan Seguin. Lane 9, Landon Bursa. And Lane 10, Timothy Matthews. Heat 4. Line up for Heat 5. In Lane 1, Xander Maldin. Lane 2, Yaha Sood. Lane 3, Danny Melnicki. Lane 4, Noah Jones. Lane 5, Zealand Plotch. Lane 6, Kaleo Kawai. Lane 7, Peyton Balciero. Lane 8, Lucas Blomin. Lane 9, Matthew Dorney. And Lane 10, William Sevilla. Heat 5. Line up for Heat 6. In Lane 1, Jesse Kirk. Lane 2, Jimmy Higuera. Lane 3, Caleb Giangrenko. Lane 4, Colton Werner. Lane 5, Carlos Forzolono. Lane 6, Liam Flanagan. Lane 7, Lucas Braganza. Lane 8, Josh Smith. Lane 9, Lucas Hanna. And Lane 10, Parker Cooksey. Heat 6. Up next in Heat 7, we have in Lane 1, Jake Barner. Lane 2, Marco Du. Lane 3, Eric Diaz. Lane 4, Joseph Miller. Lane 5, Corbin Hoyne. Lane 6, Luca Russell. Lane 7, Finley Broderick. Lane 8, Jose Martinez. Lane 9, Alex Gagnon. And Lane 10, Wes Witchert. Heat 7. Up next in Heat 8, in Lane 1, Brandon Locke. In Lane 2, Kirill Gretchen. Lane 3, Oliver Smud. Lane 5, Nathan Balch. Lane 6, Nevin Naramore. Lane 7, Eric Van Matra. Lane 8, Gabe Volmer. Lane 10, Charlie Piquet. Heat 8. Up next is Heat 9, the final 50-meter freestyle. In Lane 4, Gabe Kluge. Lane 5, Noah Kuriliscu. Lane 6, Oscar Gretchen. Heat 9. Next up, we're moving back to the flag end of the pool for the girls 100-meter butterfly, event 55. In heat 1, in lane 2, Annalie Trujillo. Lane 3, Adele Mathia. Lane 4, Anna Schuchard. Lane 5, Isabella Arellano. Lane 6, Hannah Barnes. Lane 7, Evelyn Harris. Lane 8, Juno Was. And lane 9, Kira Barisha. Event 55, girls 11-12, 100-meter butterfly, heat 1. This is the first of 3 heats. Next up will be heat 2. In lane 2, Brooklyn Prince. Lane 3, Gracie Brown. Lane 4, Kendall Beauregard. Lane 5, Emery Smith. Lane 6, Elora Tripp. Lane 7, Amrin Reynolds. Lane 8, Zoe Kamat. And lane 9, Olivia Fogel. Heat 2. Next in the water is the third and final heat for the girls. 100 fly. In lane 2, Jemmy Simmons. Lane 3, Samantha Gardner. Lane 4, Ada Liu. Lane 5, Abigail Tsari. Lane 6, Chaya Hughes-Turner. Lane 7, Sophia Kreis. Lane 8, Addie Muller. And lane 9, Maria Gracia Giacomi. Please note that the results for event 54, the boys 50-meter freestyle, are now posted on the scoreboard. Swimmers, you have 30 minutes to announce your attention to scratch. Heat 3. This is the last of the girls in 11 and 12 butterflies. Up next, we've got the 11 and 12-year-old boys. Lining up in lane 2, Enzo Rodriguez. Lane 3, Youssef Nagy. Lane 4, Baptiste Albert. Lane 5, Virgil von der Heide. Lane 6, Brennan McCown. Lane 7, Charles Wolfe. Lane 8, Colin Hanna. And lane 9, Oliver Doty. Event 56, boys 11-12, 100-meter butterfly, heat 1. Next up will be the second of 3 heats for the boys. Lining up in lane 2, Adrian Barangulov. Lane 3, Sebastian Nock. Lane 4, Gabriel Feldman. Lane 5, Ryan Lynn. Lane 6, Tahoe Awad. Lane 7, Carter Zimmerman. Lane 8, Jet Iwanau. And lane 9, Max Ruiz. Please note that the results for event 55, the girls 11 and 12 100-meter butterfly, are now posted on the scoreboard. Swimmers, please, you have 30 minutes to declare your intention to scratch. Heat 2. Up next is the third and final heat for the boys. In lane 2, we've got Carter Hoyne. Lane 3, Connor Cummings. Lane 4, Ivan Loganov. Lane 5, Christian Beauchamp. Lane 6, Caleb Milak. Lane 7, Christian Hoyne. Lane 8, Oliver Narramore. And lane 9, Samuel Doty. Heat 3. This is the last heat of the 11-12-year-old butterfly events. Next up will be the girls 13-14-year-olds. In heat 1, in lane 1 we have Riley Rosas. Lane 2, Anika Traktueva. Lane 3, Avilia Van Hall. Lane 4, Lane Langenbrunner. Lane 5, Fiona Blaho. Lane 6, Ryan Udagawa. Lane 7, Leah Hamer. Lane 8, Sienna Udzimski. Lane 9, Avery Young. And lane 10, Ember McAteer. Event 57, girls 13-14, 100-meter butterfly, heat 1. In the water is the first of 5 heats. Up next is heat 2. Lining up in lane 1, Ariana Boyett Martinez. Lane 2, Amanda Collison. Lane 3, Skylar Batten. Lane 4, Angelina Parajon. Lane 5, Gabriella Beauchamp. Lane 6, Sarah Fiamma. Lane 7, Olivia Breeden. Lane 8, Camden Smith. Lane 9, Emily G. And lane 10, Amanda Delgado. Please note the results for event 56, a boys 11-12 100-meter butterfly, are now posted on the scoreboard. Swimmers, you have 30 minutes to declare your intention to scratch. Heat 2. Next up is Heat 3. In lane 1, Isa Fisher Munoz. Lane 2, Juliana Alvarez. Lane 3, Chantal Lievers. Lane 4, Karma Sood. Lane 5, Ava Whitley. Lane 6, Hannah McGorrick. Lane 7, Olivia Brooks. Lane 8, Safina Jabina. Lane 9, Sophia Collett. Lane 10, 7, Radicic Malhaso. Heat 3. Up next is Heat 4. In lane 1, Zora Gansner. Lane 2, Valerie Pascoot. Lane 3, Naomi McKenna. Lane 4, Lena Ramdale. Lane 5, Lyrica Guga. Lane 6, Anderson O'Kelly. Lane 7, Toka Awad. Lane 8, Faith Wendell. Lane 9, Shanna Shaw. Lane 10, Bree Fogel. Swimmers, before you go today, please make sure you look at the scratch list for finals. Make sure that you're aware whether you need to come back or not. And parents, if your child is in finals, please consider supporting us and volunteering for timing. We still have about 4 places that we need to fill. Thank you. Heat 4. Up next is the fifth and final heat for the 13, 14-year-old girls. In lane 3, Kaya Surratt. Lane 4, Klein Vaughan. Lane 5, Kanisha Patel. Lane 6, Karina Mazzoli. Lane 7, Juliana Ruiz. Lane 8, Cipriana Carrion Rios. Heat 5. Up next we have the 13, 14-year-old boys in event 58. Lining up in heat 1. In lane 1, Wesley Han. Lane 2, Tyler Hanna. Lane 3, Lucas Gianella. Lane 4, Philip Tanis. Lane 5, Toby Chen. Lane 6, Vilio Claro. Lane 7, Ryan McCann. Lane 8, Keola Kauai. Lane 9, Matthew Van Matra. And lane 10, Colton Pappas. Event 58, boys 13, 14, 100-meter butterfly, heat 1. Event 58, boys 13, 14, 100-meter butterfly, heat 1. In the water is the first of 4 heats. Lining up for heat 2. In lane 1, 10&UNDER. Lane 2, Cassin Sweet. Lane 3, Trent Ward. Lane 4, Riley Lou. Lane 5, Andrew McCann. Lane 6, Josh Silvera. Lane 7, Zachateer. Lane 8, Joel Robinson. Lane 9, Tyler Dans. Lane 10, Luke Wheeler. Please note that the results for event 57, the girls 13-14 100 metre butterfly, are now posted on the scoreboard. Swimmers, you have 30 minutes to announce your intention to scratch. Heat 2. Next up is Heat 3. Lining up in lane 1, Evan Hightower. Lane 2, Toivo Heppel. Lane 3, Jackson Height. Lane 4, Cameron Stanley. Lane 5, Hao Chin Yu. Lane 6, Jeremy Morgan. Lane 7, Benjamin Kirk. Lane 8, Ronan Rowe. Lane 9, Nathan Moore. And lane 10, Christopher Keown. Heat 3. Next up we have Heat 4, the final heat for the boys. In lane 4, Sebastian Kurai. Lane 5, Eli Fowler. Lane 6, Ryan Attier. Lane 7, Brighton Toller. Lane 8, Alex Spinelli. Heat 4. Up next we have event 59, the girls 100-meter butterfly. Lining up in heat 1, in lane 1, Anika Davis. Lane 2, Chloe Wood. Lane 3, Elise Fortieth. Lane 4, Eva Whitehead. Lane 5, Peyton Brooks. Lane 6, Kate Roger. Lane 7, Milena Fitz. Lane 8, Ansley Edelman. Lane 9, Elisa Bethke. And lane 10, Catherine Bazay. Event 59, girls 100-meter butterfly, heat 1. Next heat in the water, heat 2. In lane 1, Catherine Wolf. Lane 2, Mary Kate Kupski. Lane 3, Olivia Perez. Lane 4, Heidi Chen. Lane 5, Hannah Parkin. Lane 6, Reagan Burton. Lane 7, Layla Watson. Lane 8, Addison Quant. Lane 9, Cara Walters. And lane 10, Ivy Vistrovich. Please note the results for event 58 are now posted on the scoreboard. Swimmers, you have 30 minutes to declare your intention to scratch. Heat 2. Next in the water is heat 3. In lane 1, Hayley McArdle. Lane 2, Zariah Van Hall. Lane 3, Tess Miotta. Lane 4, Grace Panner. Lane 5, Layla Busby. Lane 6, Lola Frey. Lane 7, Peyton Burton. Lane 8, Evie Milak. Lane 9, Lexi Henry. And lane 10, Hayley Huff-Stetler. Heat 3. In the water, water is heat 3 of 7. Up next is heat 4. Lining up in lane 1, Juliet Brunzil. Lane 2, Bethany Allen. Lane 3, Amelia Dubova. Lane 4, Emma Casey. Lane 5, Lily Goff. Lane 6, Cassidy Shanks. Lane 7, Alejandra Perez. Lane 8, Hannah Pagels. Lane 9, Emma Pewitt. And lane 10, Emma Fielding. Heat 4. Lining up for heat 5 in lane 1, Emma Dodge. Lane 2, Vivi Ralston. Lane 3, Anna Jane Lucius. Lane 4, Takeline Cheney. Lane 5, Maisie Mobley. Lane 6, Sheer Decker. Lane 7, Lily Dorney. Lane 8, Gabriela Paredes. Lane 9, Kathleen Rice. And lane 10, Maya Ramdale. Heat 5. Up next is heat 6. In lane 2, Maya Kelovic. Lane 3, Evelina Larson. Lane 4, Katie Schuritz. Lane 5, Lucy McKenzie. Lane 6, Danny Ramos. Lane 7, Maddie Dubois. Lane 8, Shelby Atkins. Lane 9, Jackie Fogel. Heat 6. Next heat is the final heat for the girls. Lining up in lane 4, Lily Schuchard. Lane 5, Anna Robinson. Lane 6, Kate Masters. Heat 7. Up next is event 60, the boys 100-meter fly. Lining up in heat 1, in lane 1, Ryan Glattergotts, lane 2, Santiago Lara, lane 3, Edris Johnson, lane 4, Alex Gonzalez, lane 5, Augustus Friedel, lane 6, Noah Walker, lane 7, Yuchen Wee, lane 8, Antonio Lewis, lane 9, Noah So, and lane 10, Colton Werner. Event 60, boys 100-meter butterfly, heat 1. Next up in heat 2, in lane 1, Peyton Balsero, lane 2, Alton Davis, lane 3, Aaron Nakax, lane 4, Kelly Franks, lane 5, Xavier Washington, lane 6, Hayden Schwartz, lane 7, Chris Lassard, lane 8, Daniel Besnasuk, lane 9, Jaden Garcia, and lane 10, Liam Talavera. Please note that the results for event 59 are now posted. Swimmers have 30 minutes to announce their intention to scratch. Heat 2. Next up is heat 3. In lane 1, Timothy Matthews. Lane 2, Caleb Giangreco. Lane 3, Declan Foy. Lane 4, Noah Jones. Lane 5, Alexander Hahn. Lane 6, Ethan Kim. Lane 7, Julian Ifia. Lane 8, Lucas Blurman. Lane 9, Joe Van Joseph. And lane 10, Zealand Ploch. Heat 3. Next up is heat 4 of 7. In lane 1, Josiah Ward. Lane 2, Carlos Frozzolodo. Lane 3, George Lee. Lane 4, Aidan Martin. Lane 5, Riley Pewitt. Lane 6, Zachary Foster. Lane 7, Peter Theodoso. Lane 8, Jessica. Lane 9, Jose Martinez. And lane 10, Isaac Rick. Heat 4. Up next is Heat 5. In lane 1, Jake Barner. Lane 2, Obi Dexheimer. Lane 3, Joseph Miller. Lane 4, Xander Maldin. Lane 5, Josh Smith. Lane 6, AJ Bullock. Lane 8, Jimmy Higuera. Lane 9, Yaha Sood. Lane 10, Mason Hicks-Rabel. Heat 5. In the water is Heat 5 of 7. Up next we have Heat 6. And in lane 1, Gabe Bluebeat. Lane 2, Nathan Balch. Lane 3, Kirill Grechkin. Lane 4, Lucas Braganza. Lane 5, Alex Gagnon. Lane 6, Marco Du. Lane 7, Patrick Donnelly. Lane 8, Brandon Locke. And lane 9, Eric Van Metre. As a quick reminder, swimmers in the 400 free are due to be providing their own timer. Heat 6. Next up is Heat 7, our final heat. In lane 4, Noah Kirilescu. Lane 5, Henry Turner. And lane 6, Oscar Grechkin. Again, swimmers in the 400s, please make sure that you are prepared with a timer. Please note that the results for event 59, the girls 100-meter butterfly, are on the board. Swimmers, you've got 30 minutes to declare your intention to scratch. Heat 7. Next up, we have the 400 free. We will be starting on heat 3 of a combined event between the girls and the boys. This will be the second heat for the girls. In lane 3, Millie Douglas. Lane 4, Jenny Simmons. Lane 5, Elora Tripp. Lane 6, Evie Long. And lane 7, Camilla Poriadina. Event 61, girls, 11-12, 400 free, heat 2. in the water is the only heat of the 11 and 12-year-olds that will be swum in this morning prelim session. With all of the 13 and 14-year-old heats, or first two heats of girls and boys swimming at finals, the next one will be heat 3 of the girls 13-14 combined with heat 3 of the boys 13-14. So swimmers, please make sure you have your timers available. Lining up for that combined heats will be in lane 2, Willow Jerkin. Lane 3, Lyrica Guagua. Lane 4, Juliana Alvarez. Lane 6, Averick Oljan Nishak. Lane 7, Matthew Van Matra. And lane 8, Keola Kauai. Again, the next heat in the water will be event 63, heat 3, and event 64, heat 3. Swimmers, make sure you have a timer. Event 63, the girls 400-meter freestyle, 13 and 14-year-old heat 3, and event 64, the boys 13-14 400 free, heat 3. The next event in the water will be event 65, the girls 400 free, heat 3. That is going to contain in lane 1, Lily Goff, lane 2, Abigail Harm, lane 3, Isla Harris, lane 4, Elise Fortief, lane 5, Olivia Lewis, lane 6, Kate Roger, lane 7, Lexi Henry, lane 8, Jenna Becker, lane 9, Caitlin Canfield, and lane 10, Emma Pewitt. Again, swimmers, please make sure that you have a timer. As a note, the results for event 60 are on the board. Again, swimmers, you have 30 minutes to declare your intention to scratch. Event 65, girls 400 free, heat 3. The next heat in the water is going to be from event 66, the boys 400 meter freestyle. It will be heat 3 in lane 1, Kaleo Kauai. Lane 2, Jackson Smud. Lane 3, Jacob Payne. Lane 4, Noah So. Lane 5, Alden Davis. Lane 6, Grant Wilton. Lane 7, Colby Hamel. Lane 8, Trey Davis. Lane 9, William McGore. Lane 10, Yusuf Al-Utaibi Pop. Event 66, boys 400 meter freestyle, heat 3. Next heat in the water is going to be heat 4 of event 65, the girls 400 free. Lining up in lane 1, Sonia Einetsenka. Lane 2, Lauren Simon. Lane 3, Stephanie Peterson. Lane 4, Albert Diakobazi. Lane 5, Molly Foy. Lane 6, Bethany Allen. Lane 7, Hannah Pagels. Lane 8, Hayley Hufstetler. Lane 9, Hunter Motherway. And lane 10, Danny Ramos. Again, swimmers, be prepared. Make sure you have a timer. And timers, make sure you use the button as well as the watch. Event 65, girls 400 meter freestyle, heat 4. Next in the water is going to be heat 4 of event 66, the boys 400 meter freestyle. Lining up in lane 1, Sud, lane 2, Josh Smith, lane 3, Sydney Radic Mahalso, lane 4, Lucas Hanna, lane 5, Danny Melnicki, lane 6, Liam Flanagan, lane 7, Luca Russell, lane 8, John Magor, lane 9, Mason Hicks-Rabel, and lane 10, Jose Martinez. Again, swimmers, make sure that you have a timer. And those who are timing right now, please make sure you use both the watch and the plunger at the end. Once the 400 meters heats have finished, we will be having a swim-off for the boys 100 meter butterfly. Again, that will be swam after the completion of the morning 400 meters. Again, timers, please remember to use both the watch and the plunger at the end of the heat. Event 66, the boys 400 meter freestyle, heat 4. The next heat in the water will be a continuation of the boys 400 meter freestyle. The heat 5. In lane 3, Oliver Smud. Lane 4, Brandon Locke. Lane 5, Nevin Naramore. Lane 6, Finley Broderick. And lane 7, Eric Diaz. Then swimmers, please make sure that you have a timer. And those who are timing at the moment, please remember to use both the watch and the plunger. After the completion of the next heat, we will be swimming a 100 meter butterfly swim off for the boys. Timers, remember to use both your watch and the plunger at the end of the heat. Heat 5. At the end of this heat, we will be having a swim-off for the boys, 200-meter butterfly. We will be having in lane 4, Peter Theodosiou, and in lane 5, Peyton Balsiero. As a reminder for those timing, please make sure we use both your watch and the plunger at the end of the heat. Timers, remember to use the plunger as well as your watch, please. Event 260, boys 100-meter butterfly swim-off. It's going to be close. And that completes this morning's session. Thank you to our volunteer timers and assistants and our officials. As a reminder, warm-up starts at 12:20 for the 10 and under session.